Hey guys, welcome back to another match preview video. I'm joined by the one and only CFC Mod. This is like super crazy for me because I think that Mod was one of the very first people that I started following on Chelsea Twitter when I had like 300 followers a year ago. So it's like super surreal to like have you on as a guest on my YouTube channel. So Mod, thank you so much for joining me, and how are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. That was a very, very nice welcome. And obviously, it's been so nice to see your growth over the year. And I'm just so happy what you've done so far. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a real, real pleasure.
Oh, I'm like emotional. I never know what to say. Thank you so much. So, guys, like always, if you have any questions that you want us to answer, make sure to drop it in the comment box, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. Right now, we're going to do a bit of a Southampton preview. So, if you have any questions specific to Southampton, drop it, and we'll try to get to them. And then we're going to do a would you rather type thing as well, so you guys can send in any would you rathers. But I think the ones that I've thought of were pretty difficult. So, Matt, how are you feeling ahead of the Southampton game?
Honestly, I would like to say I'm feeling good, but I'm not. Okay. That might me being a bit of a pessimist, but I'm scared because, funny enough, Southampton, they've lost the last six Premier League games. And normally that should give you confidence, but that scares me actually, knowing that we are charity FC and knowing that we like to give teams points when they should not get any points. But yeah, I mean, obviously, this was under a different manager. Now we have Tuchel, so things might change. But I'm still quite scared of the fact that they haven't won a single game in the last six Premier League games.
I know, like you said, a lot of players specifically like tend to find their form against Chelsea if they're on a goal drought. You bet when they play Chelsea they're going to score, or a team if they're in terrible run of form when they play Chelsea, they will also find their form. Or funny enough, if they're injured, you can just set their injury comeback date as the day that team plays Chelsea, because you know that they're going to be back in time. So yeah, I think that like them being in such bad form could go one of two ways. They could just continue their bad form, or they could come up and say, oh, we want to make a statement against Chelsea. Chelsea's a massive side that we can beat, but they weren't able to beat Arsenal. They lost 3-1 to Arsenal, 1-0 to Aston Villa, 9-0 to Manchester United.
Yeah.
So I really hope that we can get some goals against this side. So I'm sorry, I'm just looking at some of the things that we've got. Do you think that we're going to see a lot of rotation in this game, like given that we're playing against Atletico Madrid in 3 days?
Yeah, it's possible, but to be fair, I feel like we might only see about 2 or 3 changes from the Newcastle game. Considering that being Edouard Mendy probably, Mendy, Giroud, obviously we know Tammy got injured, and possibly Rich James. But I feel like the rest might stay the same. Obviously, Thiago Silva is not yet 100% fit and ready to start. And I still feel like Tuchel prefers Christensen over Zuma. So that back three is going to stay the same. So, yeah, not too much rotation.
I was actually thinking that we could potentially see a 4-4-2 formation. I recorded a video, you guys. I need to edit it, so it will be out after this at some point in the evening. But I've been thinking about this formation for quite some time, because I was thinking, well, we want to rest some players because we know that we're going to play Atletico, but it's also a really big game for Chelsea because we don't want to drop points in this really tight top four race. But at the end of the day, I kind of lean towards a 4-4-2 because I was thinking, well, like Marcus Alonso probably would need some rest. A player like Aspilicueta probably needs rest as well. And Callum, he could go either way. Like he could probably play and be fine. But if you have Reece James, you could play him. So I was thinking like a 4-4-2 with a back four of Reece, Ben Chilwell, and then the center backs kind of like have your pick of Rudiger or Chris. I think he'll probably do like Rudiger and Christensen. But I think that that's like likely because like my thinking was in order to get the best out of Reece James and Ben Chilwell, they play better in a back four, and we did see it at some point. So I was thinking perhaps that could be an option. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, definitely Chilwell even more than Miss James. I feel like Chilwell kind of struggles as a wing back. Marcus Alonso is definitely a better option if you're playing the wing back. And yeah, he's much better as a left back. Rich James, I do definitely still feel he's better as right back, but he can do the job also as a right wing back. So yeah, I would like to see 4-4-2 honestly, to see key players being rested for the big game against Atletico Madrid because that's a tough one.
Yeah, somebody asked why not 4-2-4? It's Tuchel's best formation. I think like you don't have to be like so static when you're playing a formation. It's not just going to stay in a 4-4-2. Like I think we even saw like 4-2-2-2, or like you have players like Mason going up higher in the pitch as well in those formations. So it
Yeah.
definitely could be an option as well. I'm just going through some of the questions we have here. John has thoughts on Pulisic's calf knock, and from what I understand, it's like being preventative. He's not injured, but he just has a bit of tightness in his calf, and they want to monitor it to make sure that it doesn't turn into an injury. So I think you know that I'm like a massive Pulisic fan. So what are your thoughts on Pulisic so far? Like, how are you feeling? Because there's a lot of controversy around him on the
Yeah.
timeline days.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I feel like he can't catch a break, especially this season. He comes back, he gets injured, he comes back, he gets injured, and it's just so unfortunate. I mean, I've seen that it's like preventive measures, and hopefully it's actually preventive measures and he can get right back running again because I feel like we do need to see that informed Pulisic in the team again.
No, I definitely agree. And I was really hoping that this was going to be a game where Pulisic would be able to start, because I wasn't thinking that he was going to start versus
Yeah,
Atletico Madrid. And I was hoping that he would get some minutes under his belt and maybe perform really well, especially against the Southampton side that
yeah.
isn't in their best form right now. So I'm really disappointed that this injury came, or it's not injury, but that it came at this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Kagwe says the back three stays. No need to fix what's not broken. I don't think we're trying to fix what's not broken. I think it's just a matter of, like, me personally, I'm just thinking about going ahead into the
Exactly.
Atletico game. So I don't want to
Yeah,
play three at the back if it means that all of those players are going to struggle against Atletico because they're tired. So that was my reasoning.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah. So someone goes, I didn't expect this crossover.
We're from the Twitter video gang. That's us over here making the collabs on
I
YouTube.
connect with you guys. Aryan, sorry if I'm totally butchering your name, asks, do you think that Conte will start against Atletico? What do you think?
I don't think so, honestly. I feel like it's too big of a game to throw in Kante straight away, knowing that he's still just getting back into. He has still not played a full 90 minutes. So for him to start an important game like that, knowing how well Jorginho and Kovacic are doing together, would be way too risky. So I don't expect him to start against Atletico.
Yeah, I think that the Southampton game would. I have him in my starting 11 to start in this game, and I
Yeah,
think that we'll probably see Conte and Kovacic. I don't know exactly how well that's going to work,
yeah,
but it could work. Maybe with new instructions and new leadership, we could see it working. I don't think it was necessarily great in the past, but I don't think that Jorginho would necessarily be able to play two games 3 days
yeah,
in a row,
yeah.
and I think he probably is a starter under Tuchel. So I
Tuchel.
think that he's going to get the nod in the Atletico game. We have a
Exactly.
question from Darren, and he asks, "Does Ziyech fit Tuchel's system?" Which is interesting because Tuchel actually came out and said that it was his fault that Ziyech hadn't been playing that much, and that he thinks he's a great player, but that he just prefers other players in the positions that Ziyech would play. So do you see Ziyech potentially starting tomorrow, or are you worried for him at all?
Honestly, yeah, I'm worried because I don't like the kind of news that I'm seeing. Oh, my ZH leave in the summer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to see at all. This is a player that I really, really like. I feel like he's just going through a bad run of form right now. He can definitely get into Tuchel's system. I feel like he's not one player that we can just rule out that easily. Obviously, Hudson-Odoi has been our star winger so far this season, but I feel like ZH can definitely find his way back into the system.
Yeah, I think so too. And I just think like also we're not going to be married to this formation. I say it like
Yeah,
basically every single stream that I'm
exactly.
on, but I don't think we're always going to see back at the three at the back. It feels like very defensive.
Yeah,
And we've seen that Tuchel can make it more offensive by having the left and right wing backs that are very attacking minded. But still, I feel like normally I don't like that system because I feel like you're sacrificing an attacking player for a center back. And I do think that if we change formation, Ziyech will be into it. But we have to remember this man has not played that many games of competitive football in a year. He's played
yeah,
14 full 90 minutes in 11 months
yeah,
because the Dutch league ended early. He didn't have a preseason with Chelsea. He starts training, he gets injured. He gets into a couple of games, he gets injured again. But I think that he's such a talented player that we're going to find room for him. We're not just going to buy him for 1 year and then sell him.
yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah.
think that makes any sense.
Exactly, exactly.
So we're kind of getting into like starting 11. I do want to like build a starting 11. But
Okay.
we got a question. Do you see Havertz possibly starting or coming on in the second half? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's be very, very important to get Havertz some much needed minutes, okay? Because he's not gotten a proper string of games so far. So any minute counts for Havertz right now, honestly. And I'll be very, very happy to see him come in the second half, assuming that we're winning comfortably. So yeah,
Yeah, I think as well, given like I would have started Pulisic, but given that Pulisic is and they could play in potentially similar positions, but given
yeah,
that he's probably not going to be fit anyways,
yeah,
I think that Havertz will probably start and get, like you said, get some minutes into his legs and hopefully just gain a little bit more match fitness and a little bit more confidence as well. Hopefully, like Timo's playing relatively well, so maybe that can rub off on him a
yeah,
little bit. I don't know. I just really want to see Kai Havertz back at his
yeah.
best. We're getting so many questions. Thank you guys so much. This is making my job so easy as a host. uh, so is my sister had a boyfriend whose name was spelled similarly, and he pronounced it surgeon. So I don't know if that's like around the around how you pronounce your name. But he said thoughts on Kepa's statement. Did you see what Kepa came out and said?
No, actually, what did I
It was
miss?
like he basically I commented on Simon Phillips' tweet because I was like in tears after it. He basically said like, "Oh, I want to do good for the team and I want to like impress and start playing football and I want to be an important player for I want to feel like an important player for Chelsea." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so depressing. Like I feel so bad, you know?"
Yeah.
And so we have that question and then going off of that, somebody else asked, "Would you start Kepa versus Southampton after the 2 clean sheets?" So, are you one of those that are willing to give Kepa a second chance? Or are you feeling like now we already know what he's
Uh,
about and it's meant?
See, yeah, I feel for Kepa, yeah, because I'm definitely happy that he's feeling good, like he's mentally on the right path, more positive. He has 2 clean sheets to his name, so that's definitely doing good for him mentally. But I mean, I'm not fully sold. I'm not. I don't want to give all my confidence into him right now. I would still say play Mendy, and in long term continue to play Edward Mendy.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I just felt
Yeah,
like it was kind of harsh on Mendy that he's had like the third highest clean sheets in the league, and then
yeah,
he
exactly,
dropped as well. So it's an
exactly.
interesting situation. I would think that Mendy starts tomorrow. I would personally prefer to see him start, but we just don't know. Like I feel like sometimes the formations are like the pep roulette that everybody
Exactly.
jokes about. You know? So we don't even know anymore. But if I had to take a guess, I think that Mendy's going to start.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's try to think. I know it's going to be super difficult and we might be completely, totally off,
Yeah.
but let's try to think of which starting 11 we might see tomorrow versus Southampton. First of all, just give me your preferred formation and then we can go from there.
That's a tough one. I mean, okay, I'm gonna think what I think Tuchel would put out. Okay, I would
Uh,
like to see four at the back, but I think he's gonna still remain with three at the back. And so, with that being said, I think it's gonna be Mendy in goal. You know, even though Kepa kept two clean sheets, it's gonna be Mendy. It's gonna be in the goal post. And the defense, I still think, like I said, Rudiger, Christensen, and probably Aspi or maybe Rich James. Who knows? So
yeah,
yeah,
right. He could potentially play there and rest Aspie
yeah,
because I don't know if Aspie is getting older. I love him as a player so much. Everybody knows
same,
that my
same.
favorite of his Aspie. And but I don't know if he would necessarily play 2 games in a row. But let's say that he does play. Who would you put at right wing back then?
This is a tough one because I'm so biased towards Rich James. I really, really like Rich James, but I have a feeling that he might be on the bench, which is a bit strange. But probably Hudson Odoi, I guess. You know, or I don't know. Honestly, okay, Rich James and then play Hudson Odoi against Atletico.
Okay,
So
that
yeah,
makes sense. I don't think
yeah,
anybody's gonna fault you for that. And on the
yeah.
left wing spot, or not left wing back
Wing back.
spot, who do you play?
Yeah, Alonso. I mean Roberto Carlos. Sorry. Yeah, I left wing back. Yeah, Alonso. Yeah, I feel like he should play as a wing back for us.
He's just like so funny. I feel like he has like 10 lives with Chelsea. Like
Right?
every
I,
time
I
that he's coming.
honestly, I was so sure that this man was not gonna see the light of day at Chelsea after what happened with Lampard. I was so sure, and now here we are in
I
2021.
thought
He's
he
a
was going to
starter.
be gone in January, honestly.
Exactly, exactly.
He just
Same,
keeps coming
same,
back like year after year.
same.
Somehow, like has a remontada. I didn't know that that word was Spanish. I looked up like to make sure of the spelling, and then it came up like in Spanish, and I was like, "Oh, what?" So
Yeah,
we've seen that we've been playing a pivot when we play,
yeah.
uh, or just in general, we've been playing a pivot. So do you stick with the Jorginho and Kovacic pivot that's been playing? Would you rotate that at all, having the Atletico game in mind? What do you think?
Yeah, man, that midfield right now is ticking. Okay, it's working. They're winning games. They're very dominant. They work very well together, and I think Tuchel would like to see them continue to perform. But we know Jorginho. I feel like I don't know his stamina is not the best, and we can see him like I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't affect his output against Atletico, which could mean we see Kovacic and Kante probably against Southampton. So yeah, it's an interesting one, the pivot situation.
I hope you guys like can hear me. There's like a massive truck outside. If you listen to Alex's podcast, you know, like every single time that I'm on, there's a truck that passes because I live like on a really noisy street. So I hope that it's not like too noisy for you guys.
No, I
I
think it's
agree. I
okay.
think that it probably would be Conte and Kovacic just because Conte hasn't been playing that much. But I don't know, like maybe he just throws him in against Atletico, but I don't think that he would do that. Like I do think that he'd probably stick with Jorginho and Kovacic against Atletico, but then I think how can you not play N'Golo Conte against Atletico?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a real
yeah,
conundrum. But I think out of the two, whoever starts tomorrow isn't going to start against Atletico out of Jorginho
probably.
Conte. I
Yeah,
think Kovacic will start both.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't
Agreed.
know. That's an interesting one. I saw a funny comment. It says, "Stay with the girl that loves you as much as Ellie loves Aspie." And that's hilarious, you guys. Especially because my husband literally looks like
he
Aspilicueta's.
is he is definitely Aspilicueta's doppelganger. It looks so much. It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
know it's so funny. He's not here, otherwise I would tell him to pop on. But when I met him, I was like, "You look like Aspilicueta," and they're both
Yeah.
Spanish. So like first thing that popped
Yeah.
in my mind. It's so fun. I really like need in my life a picture of them like next to each other,
Yep.
honestly.
Yep. You should probably go take a DNA test too. Who knows what you might uncover. So yeah.
Oh my god. Colin Hughes asks, what about Gilmore? That's an interesting shout, actually. I hadn't thought
Yeah,
about Billy Gilmore in the system. You could potentially see a similar team maybe that played against Barnsley and Gilmore Conte, but I just didn't think that it looked that strong. But I know that they're both coming back from injury, so I'm willing to
yeah,
give it slack. But I would be surprised if Gilmore started, honestly, just because he's so young, and I think that Tuchel is going to be looking to like definitely win this game, and he probably feels a little bit more comfortable having somebody more senior in that role. But I really like Billy Gilmore, and I would be thrilled if he started because I do think that he can do a job. What do you think?
yeah, definitely. I really, really rate Billy Gilmore, but I feel like right now he's just saved for like the cup games, and he's not
Yeah.
going to be thrown into the games where there's so much importance, you know. So I highly doubt he's going to start or feature at all. In fact,
No, so it goes. Gilmore is good. Maybe he starts against Manchester United, which is like I don't know about that one.
yeah, I don't think so.
So now moving up the pitch, I think like in that 10 role, we'll probably see Mason Mount. I don't see him getting
Yeah,
rested.
yeah. Nah, he does not know what rest means. This man was born to play 90 minutes every single game for every season. So I feel like for sure it's fully built and equipped to consistently play games. So yeah, definitely he can play easily 90 minutes in both games. Mason Mount.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. And I just feel like we look like such a better team when he's on. He just injects so much
Yeah,
energy into the
yeah,
side. And so I think that he definitely starts. Um, and then looking at the top two, um, who would you play there? Because we have Giroud. I don't think Tammy's going to be fit based on
yeah,
what I've heard. So Giroud, Werner, and maybe you could see Kai Havertz even
yeah,
up there as
possibly.
well. What do you think?
Yeah, because you know, like Tuchel can show that he can surprise us with anything. You get me? So, but I still feel that it's gonna be Werner and Giroud playing together, and I feel like they do complement each other in a decent manner. So yeah, most likely both of them playing up top.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be up front, Werner and Giroud, as well, and maybe in this formation specifically, then maybe Kai comes off the bench. If we
Yeah,
end up playing a 4-4-2, I think Kai may start because, like
yeah.
we said, it's like that extra center back. You have shout outs that you are awesome and that you really know your football.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So, what do you think the score is going to be tomorrow? How confident are you feeling?
Despite the bad run that Southampton are having and the charity FC that we know that we are, I still feel that we should be winning this game. Tuchel is still unbeaten. We should definitely comfortably still win the game. But I still don't. I'm not sure if we might concede. We know Danny Ings is very lethal in front of goal. He might just pop in a goal anywhere. So
Yeah.
just because of that, I might say 2-1 or 3-1. That's
Ooh,
where I'm leaning
interesting.
towards. Yeah.
Yeah, my prediction is 2-0. I'm hoping
Okay.
that we can keep that clean sheet. We haven't conceded a goal yet, except
Yeah.
for your own goal, which like
Yeah.
absolutely kills me inside.
Yes,
Quite
it's a
honest.
very, very like mood ruiner. Like why?
It was just like such an annoying own goal because it wasn't like a weird deflection. It was just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
strolling into the back of the
exactly,
net. So
exactly.
I do want to switch over to the would you rather section of
Okay,
this
okay.
stream because I know that you're like super jokesy as well, and I thought
Yeah,
it would be
yeah.
fun to play with you. So guys, if you
Okay.
have any would you rather questions that you want us to answer, make sure to drop them in the comments and we'll get to as many as possible. But until then, I'm gonna start us off. So would you rather, and I'm gonna start like outside of Chelsea and then we'll make it Chelsea centric.
Okay.
So, would you rather buy Holland or Mbappe?
The big question. These are the two players who are ridiculous right now. I mean, I still rate Mbappe higher, but if we're talking in terms of Chelsea and what I feel like we need more, I still feel we need Haaland more because he's a once in like a decade kind of striker that appears, and we should throw whatever money that we can at him. So yeah, nah, he's amazing. And if it's for Chelsea, yeah, definitely Haaland.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he has this like killer instinct that
Yeah,
we're really lacking right now, and maybe some of our players could develop that in the future. But if he came to Chelsea, that would be literally insane. I
yeah.
When we first heard the rumors, I was like, no way is this happening. But I did say that about Kai Havertz, and I did say that about Timo
True.
Werner as well.
Yeah.
So perhaps it can happen. I don't know. I don't
You
know.
never know. You never know. That's the thing.
Fahim asks, would you buy Cristiano or Messi?
I'm Team Messi. Okay, I'm biased. Team Messi. You can't go wrong. Okay, so yeah. What about
Yeah,
you
you
though?
can't go wrong. I would have to say Cristiano just because my husband is like a Real Madrid fan, so
Okay, fair
I,
enough. Fair enough.
I have to be supportive of that.
Fair enough.
But it's really crazy. I had Lorenz on a stream and he said like for Holland, because I basically said like, oh, it's like this new generation between Holland and Mbappe, and you're seeing like Cristiano and Messi are starting to like slow down a little bit. And he said basically for them to get to the levels of Messi and Ronaldo, they would have to score like 45 goals a season
Yeah,
to even come
exactly.
close, which is
Exactly. Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The standards that they set were so high, so high.
Is insane. So this is a question that I actually had. Would you
Okay.
rather have Bruno or De Bruyne in your team?
Okay, so yeah, obviously two very very world class players, top quality players. We had De Bruyne, and I feel like I would still choose Kevin De Bruyne. I just rate him so highly. We've seen what he can do for so many years now, even at Wolfsburg, like way back. So definitely, I feel like he's gonna be incredible if he somehow comes or was playing at Chelsea. So yeah,
Yeah, that would be it's a shame that we had let him go, honestly. I think that's like one
yeah,
of the most painful things to think about. For Salah, it doesn't hurt me that much because I remember watching Salah and being like, oh, he's okay. Like he just
yeah,
needed many, many more years and he needed that
yeah.
development. But with De Bruyne, it's like that's a
Exactly.
blow, honestly.
Yeah.
So, next question, I'm going to move it over to Chelsea now. I think this one is a really tough one.
Hmm.
It's would you rather get top four this year or come in fifth this year but win the Premier League next year?
Ah, man.
Like, keep in mind, if you come in fifth this year, that means no Champions League next
Yeah,
year, obviously.
yeah, yeah. Ah, that's
I'm going
such
to
a
get you in
painful
trouble.
one.
People are going to clip this talking like, man, didn't
Yeah.
want to get top four.
Because us finishing fifth, that means Europa League football all over again. And God knows I cannot deal with staying up on Thursday nights trying to watch Europa League football. I mean, wait, okay. If we finish like in the top four and not win the Premier League, does that mean we can't win the Premier League next season?
So yeah, so we would come in fifth this season, but win it next season, but we wouldn't be in
Okay.
Champions League.
Oh
Or we
man.
would come in fourth this season, not win it next season, but we'd have Champions League.
I'll say we'll finish fifth. I'll bear with the pain, but as long as he guarantees we're gonna lift the trophy for sure in the season after, I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's what I was leaning towards as well. I was like,
Yeah.
1 year, if it can guarantee that you win the Premier League as well.
Yeah, and you never know. We're good in the Europa League, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we have a question. It says, if there was one player you could get from the past, who would it be?
Like a past Chelsea player.
Yeah, let's keep it in Chelsea.
Mm, that's a good one. That's a good one. Uh, Perhaps, like we said earlier, De Bruyne. We know how good he is.
That's a good show. That's a good show.
Yeah, yeah, perhaps him. Even what's it called, Lukaku. Even I feel like he's so underrated. He's doing bits right now at Inter Milan.
Yeah.
And obviously, like a striker, a very strong striker, is something that we need. So perhaps. So yeah, between De Bruyne, Lukaku, and Salah, I would say right now because they're still playing right now and they're still doing really good right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would probably say De Bruyne. We have a funny. I think it's a kind of funny question. I don't think that these players are on the same level at all. I think it's quite obvious. Would you rather see Westbrook come back or bring in Holland immediately?
Nah, I mean it's obviously Michi Batshuayi, you know. I want to know who's going to choose Batshuayi. Just come outside right now.
That's too funny. Oh, somebody said for the bring back player Oscar, and I have such a soft spot for Oscar as well. I really liked him. He was
I really like Oscar. Yeah,
when I saw him at the bridge and he scored. I was like,
yeah. We're so sad to see him go so young to China, you know?
Yeah. I felt like I didn't get that at all because he was still really young and usually go when you're like settling down.
Yeah, exactly.
But he said like multiple times that he wants to come back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And like his career there. I wouldn't be opposed if he's just coming off of the bench. If it's reasonable salary and all of that, you guys, like I know that you know, a reasonable salary, reasonable transfer fee and everything. But I really like him. I thought he was a really good player. Inconsistent, but when he was on it, he was unplayable.
Definitely.
So Yusuf asks, would you rather get Erling and no Tomori, or no Erling but get Tomori and a new defender?
Nah, I feel like you can't look past Haaland, man. He's just there's no striker right now like him, you know, like at that same age range. So you just can't slip up the opportunity to get Haaland. I mean, obviously I love Tomori, but yeah, man, you just can't pass up the opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. So guys, for any future question, if it involves Haaland, we're probably so I'm gonna go back to some of the ones that I had. Would you rather sell Conte or Kovacic?
Man, you're not helping me at all with this question.
Mine are really difficult. I told you.
That's so tough, man. Because I have a soft spot for both of them, especially Kovacic. So that's. I'm trying to think like which one is more replaceable. Like which one do you think you can actually replace and like get away with?
So he goes, bro, I'm selling Conte.
I mean, to be fair, if you're gonna factor the age, yeah, I think you could just say Conte. I mean, right now Kovacic provides more and offers more to the team. But come on, guys, it's not that easy. Yeah, exactly.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. Even like, yeah, Conte, get out, you know.
Here's the door. No, I don't know. I have a really hard time because I really like N'Golo Conte, and when he's on it, and there's no player like him. But he is getting older as well, and I don't know. I just don't know. I would probably sell Kovacic over Conte. I don't know.
No way. Okay, you said it, Kovacic.
I think I'm being like sentimental, and I'm realizing that I'm being sentimental about it. But I just have a soft spot for certain players.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah,
you know. So I realize that I may be a little bit biased. So somebody asks, is your husband from the Basque region? No, he's from Madrid. So okay, this one is like absolutely brutal. You're gonna kill me. It keeps alone, Mount, Reese, or Callum.
Oh my days, nah.
I need to use alone in there.
Oh my days, nah, this is so hard. Okay, okay. I'm gonna keep Reese. I don't care what anyone says. I love Reese James. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep Reese James. Oh. Who am I gonna sell?
I know. It's a real conundrum. Oh my god, I don't.
Okay. This hurts, but I'll loan Hudson-Odoi and sell Mount just because I feel. Yeah. Look, you can go either way, but just personally, I can't let Rich James go. Okay, I know I'm being very sentimental and biased, but for sure, Rich James is staying. But I think I might loan Hudson-Odoi for a season, then Mount. I'm sorry, but.
Oh my god, I think I'm the complete opposite. That's so funny.
Really?
I don't know if I'm the complete. Let me think through it. Yeah. I don't know. I would I would keep Mount. I have to keep
Okay.
Mount.
Okay, fair enough.
And then it depends which formation we play.
Just say it. Just say it. Rip the bandage off.
Because if we play in a back four, then we need Reese. But if we play in a back five, then we need Callum. So I don't know. I'm going to loan Callum and sell Reese. I don't know.
No. Wow. I mean, to be fair, that's a very hard one. You can't really go wrong with any order that you put any of them in.
Yeah.
It's just so
hard.
Yeah.
Malin says I'd loan Mount and keep Callum. Okay, so you're kind
selling
of
Reese.
Selling Reese.
How dare you sell Reese James?
Yes, goes. He corrected in the chat. Sell Reese, loan Callum, and keep Mount. So we're aligned on that.
Okay.
But interesting. That's a really hard question. And obviously, I want all of them to stay at Chelsea, you guys. So don't go taking that. And okay. So I have a really, really hard question that I was like so proud of myself for thinking of. Or maybe it's hard because I love both of these players. I don't. Would you rather have never signed Pulisic or never have sold Hazard? So if you never sold Hazard, you don't get Pulisic, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my days. Hazard is my favorite player of all time. Okay. People need to know this. I love this guy so much. but that's so hard. I feel like selling Hazard played a huge role in like where we are right now. So assuming we still kept him, like half of the players we have right now will not still be at Chelsea. That's why I feel like personally. And Pulisic is so young, he's so good, and it's like a new like version of Hazard almost, you know?
Yeah.
So honestly, I would say I think we'll sell Hazard. Like I want to keep Pulisic. Like would have kept Pulisic. Yeah.
That's what I was leaning towards too. It pains me because Hazard is one of my favorite players in the world as well. Like I just love him, and but seeing how he's doing at Real Madrid, I don't know if he would have had like seasons at Chelsea as well. Perhaps because he would have been adjusted already, and he was like the star of our team. But I do agree with you. But that being said, I do want him to come. Like if he were to come back, I would welcome him with open arms.
100%. Come back. 100%.
I will go to his house and drive him to the airport. Spend a car ride with him, and then send him off to London.
Lay out the red carpet, anything he needs and wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Oh my god. Colin asked, would you rather sell Kepa or buy Hazard? And at first I was like, oh, this is an easy one. But now I'm thinking about it and I was like, oh, actually not. Actually, this is a quite difficult one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. I just wish that we had like some assurance that Hazard was going to like be at his best level, because then I think that would be very easy.
Very, very easy. Yeah.
But it also depends how much you're selling Kepa for. Like it probably is pennies. So I think I'm gonna go buy Hazard.
Yes.
Oh my god, we're getting a lot of would you rather questions. Would you rather have Drogba and Haaland duo or prime Hazard and Salah out wide?
Yo.
This is
that's interesting. I'm trying to like see how like Drogba and Haaland in the primes like work as like a duo up front, because you know how like they both play. But I feel like for sure, like guaranteed, prime Hazard and Salah would do a madness. They would do a madness because like Hazard creates the goals, Salah scores the goals. Like it's gonna be like unstoppable. So yeah, I might lean towards that, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so as well. But that was a really difficult question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
That was a really good question. Yusuf goes, where do you get these cool video ideas? Ellie is so fun. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Just tried to think of
creative mind. Big ups, Elizabeth.
This is what we need on a Friday night, just something
Yeah.
chilled and relaxed. um, let's see. I have a couple more while we wait to see if anybody else
Okay.
has. Oh, this is an interesting one. Would you rather have Chelsea win the Champions League again or have your country win the World Cup?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Obviously, I'm Nigerian, and we've never won the World Cup. And knowing how like prideful Nigerians are, that would be so amazing. Like I think I'll go with my country winning the World Cup. Just
Yeah.
because I mean I've already witnessed and experienced Chelsea winning the Champions League. I've never experienced that before. So yeah. What about you though?
I don't know. I am like so unfortunate because I started following Chelsea in the 2013-14 season, so I
Ah, wow.
just missed the
Yeah, you
Champions
just missed
by like a
it.
year. And so it's like so unfortunate. So I have not witnessed Chelsea winning a Champions League. I
Okay,
have
fair enough.
watched plays and I know everything that happened in the game, but I
Yeah,
didn't watch it live and didn't experience it. But the US is not known for being good at football either.
true,
I don't
true.
I don't think the US has won a World Cup. I'm not sure.
No,
I
no.
don't think I know the women's team probably. The women's team is awesome. They
Yeah,
win
they're
a
they're
lot of
they're
World
amazing.
Cups.
Yeah, they're
But
amazing.
the men's team, oh, and seeing Pulisic win a World Cup as well. I would probably go with I would probably go with the World Cup as well, but
Yeah.
it's a really hard one.
It's yeah, and it's like it's just more rare to see. It happens like once every 4 years. So it's more precious,
That's
I feel.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. And the US, like last year, I don't think we were even in the World Cup.
Yeah.
There is peak, as the Brits say. I've learned that
Yeah.
word, added it to my vocabulary. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't understand. Fahimas, would you rather have one of the best defenses in the world or the best attacks in the world?
As a wise man once said, the best defense wins you trophies. So,
Yeah, that's exactly what
yep, yep.
I
I have the best defense in the world, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. But it is like more visually pleasing, I think, to have a better attack. But
Yeah,
like you said,
yeah.
defense wins the trophies. Yusuf says the US have a good chance with the World Cup. Many
That's so
talent.
true. That's so
Hopefully,
true.
we can get past like the group stages this next year.
No, I feel like you definitely will because there's so many quality players all over Europe right now in the US, and they're
Yeah,
so young. They're all doing so good. So there's a good chance.
we go soccer. You mean? Sorry, guys.
Wait,
I'm calling it soccer. Don't. Colin asks, does your guest know who's the best Nigerian player to play for Chelsea?
I mean, Mikel, for sure. So on, so underrated. It has to be. It has to be.
And for me, obviously, it's Pulisic because he's the only American to play for Chelsea, I'm pretty sure.
That was so hard.
Oh man. Okay, I have another one. Who would you rather bring into this current Chelsea team?
Okay.
Prime Lampard, Terry, or Drogba? I don't know actually.
Yeah.
Imagine
Either of them would help massively for sure. Ah, that's a good one. Okay, how about you answer this one first because I actually don't know.
Oh man. Um I don't know. Guys, who are you guys going for? Because I really have no idea. It's really split. Jonathan says we need a killer, so Drogba. Yusuf says John Terry and Thiago Silva.
Ooh,
None
that's a good shout.
says Drogba. We need a tank up front.
Yeah,
Everyone says Drogba.
how like Drogba was like a very huge big game player. We need that right now. Someone who performs when it matters, and he was just unstoppable in his prime. So yeah, for sure, we won't have to worry about finals. We're not worried about playing against the big six. He's gonna do the job for sure. So yeah, I guess I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Didier Drogba.
I can agree with that as well. And if I wanted to be different, I could say Terry because that would be awesome to see Terry and Thiago Silva together.
Yeah,
I do think that Thiago Silva shores up that center back partnership enough for me to feel comfortable
yeah,
in an attack.
definitely.
I think I know the answer to this one, but would you rather win the FA Cup or finish in the top 4? Actually, maybe I don't know the answer.
Wait, okay, so assuming we win the FA Cup, we're not in the top four. Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Oh man, we haven't won a trophy. That'll be 2 years now. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I don't know. I,
All right, I go first because I have it a little bit clear, I guess, and you guys
okay.
tell me if I'm just totally full of it. I don't know, but I would rather finish in the top 4 so you get the Champions League spot, which gives you extra money. You get
Yeah.
money for getting a Champions League spot. You get the TV revenue for being in the Champions League, and you attract more players if you qualify for the Champions League. If you're
Yep.
not in the Champions League, maybe don't attract a player like a Holland or a world-class player. So I would, at least for this season, when we're like definitely
Oh
looking
yeah.
to
Yeah.
buy players, I would rather finish in the top 4.
Yeah, and let's not become Arsenal, where like the occasional FA Cup like satisfies the fan base with no Champions League football. Yeah,
Yeah, Colin goes, Champions League is where the money's at. Yeah.
very, very true.
Yeah. So, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. This has absolutely flown by. I was not expecting it to go
Yeah,
on, but this game was really fun. I enjoyed it. I have to play it again at some point.
definitely.
If you like this video, please drop it a like. Honestly, it helps me out so much. Please subscribe to this video and subscribe to not subscribe to this video. What am I saying?
The channel.
Yeah,
Yep, yep, that's it.
it's not even only 8 p.m. Subscribe to my channel and Mod. I'm sure everybody knows you. You have like 150,000 followers on Twitter. Congrats on that.
Yeah, thank
But
you so
let
much.
them know where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Twitter at TFC Mod underscore, and also YouTube. I'm new in the game at TFC
Yeah.
Mod also. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So guys, I have to put your YouTube channel link in the description. I will do that. I forgot to do it yesterday. I have to do it for Lorenz as well. I'm slacking so hard, you guys. So I'll put the link to Mod's YouTube channel in the description.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Let's hope that this Southampton game goes well. And until next time, I'm out.